Hello beautiful people, it's Marwan Maurice, and I'm going to talk to you today about a time when I felt it was necessary to literally punch a dude in the face while on the basketball court. Now before music came, my whole life was about basketball. Like it paved the way for me, it meant everything to me. And to make you better understand my reasoning for the story I'm about to tell you, I'm gonna give you a little background of what was going on and where I came from. I had just graduated from a college that was at one point #1 in the nation. We ended up, due to upset, #6 in the nation, I believe. We won a lot of leagues, championships, conference championship. I had some respectful success myself, regional MVP. Those things that I did, the success that I had, was due to my hard work, but also due to playing with some talented individuals. Talented, hard-working individuals, and we really matched well. Like, we worked hard for one another, and if this player is good at doing this, it's gonna make my job way easier when I don't have to do that, knowing that he's great at that, and so on and so on. Understanding that, now I'm 22 years old, and I'm going over to play my first year of pro basketball, and that is in Luxembourg in Europe. Luxembourg is its own country. Unfortunately, a lot of Americans don't know that, I came to realize, and they assume that it's a city in Germany. The Luxembourgers do not like being played like that, like they don't exist. Anyways, I go to Luxembourg my first year, and I find out quick that the way the culture works in this overseas lifestyle is it's very cutthroat. Pro athletics is cutthroat, period. But I think they get away with more abroad than they would in the US anyway, as far as the top levels. And I find out quickly that no matter what, as the American player, it's your fault. If you win, it's your fault. Good job. If you lose, it's your fault. You suck. This is the way it works. This is the culture of basketball in foreign countries, in my personal experience as the American player. Specifically, if that league only allows one American player per team. You'll find that each league is different, each country is different. Some may allow 1 or 2 Americans, and then 1 or 2 Africans, and then 1 or 2 passports that are from this part of Europe. You get the idea. And in the situation I ran into in Luxembourg at that time was 1 American was allowed. In these situations, usually they're bringing you all the way across that water, so you're gonna have a job to do. They're not bringing you over here just to chill. They bring you over here to grind, to get buckets, to pretty much kill. With that comes the pressure, yes, but like that's what you're here to do anyway. You're here to get on this court and murder. At least no one in my circle of players, friends that are playing, are going over to Europe especially. They're not there just to sit and chill and let time go by. They're trying to ball out and hopefully get a better contract the following year. And with that, imagine now, I just came from college where basketball was a job, but I also had to go to class. Now we have eliminated class. Now basketball is a job, but now if I don't do my job, I gotta pay bills. There are people who have to send money back home. If you're not getting your bonuses, if you, I don't know, get cut at any given moment, like that's in danger. I ran into a situation that made me, in a good way, it made me more of a monster on the court and way more of a monster in the business of basketball. You find out quickly, like, yo, you here on your own. You're gonna make some friends, and some of these people, you're gonna make some real friends, but it's gonna be very few. Like, I made some best friends who I still talk to, specifically in Luxembourg, my first year. But like, it was a rude awakening letting me know how much I was on my own. Like, you don't have family out here. You don't have friends out here. In general, anyone who likes you, they only like you for what you can do. Like, such and such wouldn't be talking to me if they didn't just see me drop 30. Or such and such wouldn't be talking to me if they didn't hear such and such talking about the game I had. Like, everyone there it's a meat market. That's the best way to put it. So moving forward, that's what's on the back of your mind, as well as some added stress as you're going to learn as I tell this story. While I'm in Luxembourg for my first season, my first coach gets fired, and then we get a new coach from Germany. With this new coach from Germany, I strongly feel that this guy does not have his morals where I personally feel that they should be. I'll speak more on this in another video, but I am convinced that this new coach is coming in trying to replace me with one of his former players who will come in and play for less money, and that way that coach can have that difference in money coming to him and his salary. I'll speak on that more at another time, but this is what I'm going through. So these stories that I'm telling you during this whole process, keep adding those up, add it up, add it up, add it up, add it up. Eventually things are going to overflow. So I get to Luxembourg, the season is going on. I'm personally having a pretty good season as one of the top players in the league, but my team still is not doing so well. We're not winning the way the administration wishes that we would be winning. And as I told you previously, if we win a game, it's my fault. Good job, Marwan. If we lose a game, it's my fault. You suck, Marwan. Like, this is what it is. It don't matter if I drop 30 and 30, like 40 and 20. It doesn't matter. If we lose, I suck. I'm a horrible basketball player. Again, this is going through one ear and out the other. Like, I know who I am. I'm not the best player in Europe by any means, but I'm making enough name for myself to know what my worth is and to know that I don't have to take what's going on here. This is something that you run into as pretty much a part of this culture, of this new overseas life. And it's not like this in every situation, but this trend does exist out there, to whereas they are looking for any reason to discredit the foreign player or whatever player has the most pressure on them. They're looking for any reason to try to break them down. The only way to make you understand a better way of how to view this as a player away from their family, friends. Imagine when you have a relationship where there's an abuser talking down to their partner, trying to break them down emotionally. Then that abuser might compliment that partner, trying to lift them up higher, just to abuse them and talk down to them again and drop them that much further. Like, that's kind of comparable emotionally to what a lot of these guys or these teams or the higher ups are trying to do, because they're trying to discredit you in any way that they can to not have to hold themselves accountable or to not have to pay you. This is how I feel, in my opinion. It's not coming from all across the board. It's not coming from everyone, but it seems to be coming from the people with the money. And so it's as if they're looking for any reason to discredit you, any reason to actually not have to hold themselves responsible for whatever's going on, specifically towards their sponsors. And they can go to whoever's sponsoring and say, oh, it's not my fault, it's Marwan's fault. Oh, it's easy, we can just get him out the country easily. And then they start that whole process over. Here comes a new guy. The same thing is going to happen with him. The native players, they live there. They were born there, raised there, everybody knows each other there. They have nowhere to go. The American player or the foreign player, whoever that may be, he's flown in. Who's easier to get rid of? Oh, no, let's just blame the foreigner. Get him out of there. Let's just blame Marwan. Get him out of there. I don't care if he just dropped 30 and whatever. I don't get him out of there. I got responsibilities. I gotta talk to our sponsors. I can't take the blame for that. Get him out of there. Get so-and-so out of there. I don't care who it is in there, but get him out of there. We need to put the blame on somebody. This is how I'm feeling. And Honestly, I have reason to feel this way from what I'm seeing. Now, mind you, this is my first time out of America, my first time in this country. This is my first year playing ball overseas. I don't have family here. I don't have friends here. It's just me. But still, I'm not going to be deterred. Like, I'm living my dream. I came here to do what I came to do. So I'm here to live my dream, but it seems that everyone around me is trying to make that harder than it has to be. The culture of the way things are in Luxembourg, only one American per team. Usually the American player guards the American player of the opposing team, but it's not always the case. But when a native player is guarding the American player, the referees are going to let that native player beat up the American player, get away with a lot more than they would if it was a native guarding a native or an American guarding an American. And they'll still call fouls, but you do notice a difference, and they even warned me. My team warned me about that before our first game when I got there to let me know. And so I have that added stress. Like, I'm getting numbers, and these people who I thought we on the same team are telling me I suck. I gotta make sure I get this payment. I gotta make sure I get this bonus. I got a coach trying to replace me so that he can get more money, and this is how I feel. Also, keep in mind, like, I'm a part of this team, but I don't really feel like I'm a part of this team, because everyone here, they've known each other since they were like 5 years old. They've grown up together. Like, I'm the outsider. Like, I don't really know who's on my side. So, like, I'm on this team with some great guys, really nice guys, and some very talented guys, and which is why I couldn't understand why it was that they weren't winning even before I got there. And I didn't understand, like, their attitude on the court. I mean, these guys, there were some guys that could really play, like a lot of shooters for sure. I mean, that's a given. But I think they just didn't take it as serious. And I mean, I guess why would they? They don't have the pressure I have. I remember going into halftime into the locker room. It's halftime. The locker room is here to the left in this hallway. To the right of that locker room, there's an exit door. And I noticed I have teammates hanging out that exit door, and I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's winter, it's cold outside, what's going on? I look over, I have teammates taking a cigarette break. It's halftime of a basketball game. But I didn't know if that was a them thing or if that was a European thing. Remember, this is my first time out of the country. But, like, this is the type of things I was thinking about. Like, I'm doing two-a-days, like, I'm eating right, I'm training. Often, like, by myself, unless it's a mandatory practice, you know. I have this pressure to perform, and this pressure I welcome. Like, this is what I live for. This is what I've been building up to my whole life, I feel like. But then I have this pressure to where we as a team have to win, but it's all on me. It doesn't matter what everyone else does. And that's just one part of what I was going through. Now it's game time, and I've been dealing with a season of adversity. I've made enough numbers, meaning my stat line is impressive enough for me to find another team. My agent knows I'm not happy. He's already on it. There's already other teams looking at me. I'm just trying to wait this out and see what happens. And so I'm not stressing on whatever the consequences are of what's going to happen. Worst case scenario, I get fined. I'm not going to do anything that's going to cause any permanent damage. So I'm just starting to get not fed up at this time, but I don't want to say fed up. I'm starting to figure out how this system works. And now I'm going to work this system in my favor. I'm playing basketball, making a living. I have to pay bills. I have to make my bonuses. I have people that are trying to make that as hard as possible. In my opinion, I feel like the administration is at that time. I feel like the culture is, the referees are, the way this thing is set. I told you that they allow the players that are native to be way more physical with the players that are American. It is what it is. I welcome it. If this is what you want to do, okay, let's do this. Now, all our games are on Saturdays. It's a Saturday night. We're playing my man Slim's team. That's my homeboy. That's a friend I made there as well. He's an American guy who I still talk to this day. Now, I told you that the American usually guards the American. Now, I'm 6'5", I'm more of a guard. Slim is like, I think he's listed as 6'9", 6'10", but I swear he's 7 foot. And so he's guarding our big man, and one of their native guards is guarding me, and it threw me off because this guy, again, I'm only 22 at this time. This guy might be 21, maybe 20. He's younger than me, but he looks very green. Like, it's very apparent that he has not seen as much life as I've seen. And when I realized the game, we had to jump on, and he's guarding me, it threw me off. It wasn't even something like arrogant, but it was like, why is this kid guarding me? Because in my mind, I'm like, well, I have a kid guarding me. What's going on? And I mean, he had been preparing for this, apparently. Like, they already had this game plan, which I already really knew. And so the game goes on, and this dude, I mean, he's a solid player, a decent player. Like, I would say he's a good player, a decent size, but he's like maybe 6'1", maybe 6'1", maybe 6'2" on a good day. He honestly should not be guarding me, because there's not much that he can do. It's not anything against him, but at this time, like, I'm 6'5", and at this time I'm 225 pounds, like muscular pounds, and he's a pretty muscular dude, but I don't think he's even crossing the 200-pound mark. And so there wasn't much that he can do, but he's playing like dirty. I mean, dirty to where I'm worried I'm about to get hurt, injured. I think before this game, for the past 2 weeks, I've been going to the hospital to get stitches. So I had a game 2 weeks ago. After that game, after that night, I go straight to the hospital. The following week, I have a game, get cut again. I think this time on my lip. I go to the hospital. The doctors are like, "Hey, you back again?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is life." You know what I mean? And so I'm going into this game today, and this kid, he's playing dirty. I mean, he's giving me elbows and stuff, and I'm confused because in my mind, like, he knows obviously that I'm a very physical player, but he's initiating this, and I'm confused. Like, pretty much in my mind, like, are you trying to die? Like, you know, you initiated this. You know what I am capable of. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, confused. You know what I mean? And then I was still letting it go because, again, now I can be physical, so I'm letting it play. And then he does something very dirty. I don't remember what it was, but I want to say undercutting, or he was about to undercut me. And if you don't know what an undercut is, if I jump up in the air and he takes my feet out, I can fall on my head, my neck, my back, my side. I mean, it hurt. It's people getting fights over that in the basketball culture. And once that happened, I told him, I said, "Hey," because he's green, and like, I know what they're telling him to do, and I know what they're going to allow him to do. And I even told him that, like, I know what your coach told you to do. I know what they're going to allow you to do, but let's be easy. You're going to for real hurt me there. And this is me just trying to talk to him. I'm not talking trash. I'm not trying to be gangster talking to him. I'm just letting him know, like, yo, this is a business. This is what we both do. But he didn't want to hear me out. He wanted, "Oh, shut up, Marv. Just play ball, Marv." He wanted to talk rah-rah. And I'm like, again, I'm surprised because I'm thinking, like, oh, this dude, he doesn't want to be able to walk off this court today. I calmed down a little bit, but I'm like, now I have to make sure you leave this court with less or none of your self-esteem. And mind you, like, I'm not a gangster. I don't try to be. I do have a reputation for protecting myself. I have a reputation for being quiet. I have a reputation for being chill, unless you initiate something with me, specifically involving putting your hands on me. Specifically on this court, on this game that I love so much and I'm so passionate about. And now you just told me that I'm going to make it harder for you to make this money, Marwan. Not only am I going to make it harder for you to make this money, I'm going to hurt you. All right, homeboy. I tried to tell him, like, yo, let's chill out, man. Like, play ball, play hard. And he wanted to talk rah-rah disrespectful for me. So I'm like, okay, well, we gonna do this then. The game goes on, and something happens to where somebody takes a shot up, And mind you, like, I've been doing this, even though this is my rookie year, like, I've been doing this physical thing for a while. I know I'm going to get this guy, and I'm not going to do it in front of the ref, because again, I'm not doing this for clout. I'm not doing this to be seen. I'm not doing this so people are scared of me. I'm doing this personally to him, so he knows to not get involved with me in this manner ever again. I'm on offense. One of my teammates shoots the ball goes up. I think it's a long or a high rebound from what I remember. And there's a crowd of people, but I'm only passively watching the ball. I'm watching where he is, because I'm about to hurt this man. A teammate shoots the ball. I crash the board for the rebound. As I approach, the ball goes up for a high rebound. I see the little buddy who was talking rah-rah coming at an angle to go get a rebound, but it's a whole gang of people in there. Everybody jumps up for the ball. Now mind you, I told you he's like 6'1", I'm 6'5", so his head is like at the perfect level of my chest area. So I see him getting closer, and then I'm salivating because I realize he's in reach, and that's when I strike. Pow! I hit him all in his mouth area. I can't tell you exactly where I hit him, but I hit him enough to where he started bleeding. The body's clear, the action dies down, and I see him standing solo, like near the baseline corner towards out of bounds. He's sucking on his lip. He's sucking on his lip. He doesn't want his lip to start bleeding to where it's on his jersey, because then he has to come out the game. Body's clear, and I see him towards the baseline corner, standing by himself with his hands on his hips, and he's bleeding and looking down and out, kind of. Like not looking directly at the ground, not looking up at all, but just looking down and out. And I'm looking at him. I'm trying to make eye contact because it's very important to me that he knows that I did that. It's very important to me that he knows what just happened. But I'm looking at him trying to gauge, and I'm not sure if he has any idea what happened or if he knows that it's me. And so I'm trying to figure out what's going on, but I just can't really gauge it well. As the game continues, I realize this guy is not coming within 3 feet of me. It's like a radius for the rest of the game that wasn't there before this moment. And I realize he does know that was me. And I think as I look back, as he was standing there with his hands on his hips away from the crowd, he was thinking to himself, like, that could have been avoided. I don't know that's what he was thinking, but I kind of questioned and I leaned towards that must have been what he was thinking. Because remember, I tried to talk to him like a gentleman, and he wanted to talk rah-rah to me. And so I questioned if he was thinking like, man, this could have been avoided. That really hurt. Like, I'm bleeding. This whole situation could have just not even happened, but it did. And mind you, like, I'm not saying this bragging. I'm saying this, that's what happened. Like, I didn't even tell my teammates that I did that, because as I said previously, they all have known each other, even the opposing team. Like, I don't feel like I'm part of any of this family. Like, I don't know if I go tell my teammate, hey, yo, I busted that dude in the lip so he would quit fouling me. My teammate, for all I know, can go tell the commission, all the referees and stuff like that, and now I have a even bigger vendetta against me. I wasn't doing this for clout. I was doing this for my peace. I was doing this for my happiness, for my career. I was doing this to be treated fairly. That's where it all started from. How would you react? I'm not proud of what I did, but I'm not ashamed of what I did. Again, this wasn't the grown man you're looking at right now. This was a 22-year-old with a lot going on. That's what I felt like I had to do at the time. How would you react? Imagine having this pressure at this young age where you have to perform, but you're away from family and friends. You don't even speak the language. Nothing about the situation at this time where I am in my mental state is telling me that I am a part of what's going on. I am a reason for success. Like, I know this in myself, but the outsiders who should be cheering me on are not. How would you react? This is how you make a living. This is how you pay your bills. This is how you feed your family if you have one. I just had my own coach trying to replace me with one of his former players because that player would play for less money. i.e. putting more money into my coach's pockets. Again, this is my opinion, but that is how I felt at that time. That is how I still feel today. It's over and done with now, but let me know how you feel. How would you react? Feel free to leave your opinion in the comments. Until next time, this is Marwan Maurice, and this is Foreign Diaries.